Welcome back to Friday Night Hockey on Eastlink Community TV. I'm Matt Beardsley, and I'm very pleased to be joined now by Solitha Shortte. Solitha, I want to read this, make sure I get this correct, is the founder, CEO, and agent for Soli Productions Management Incorporation, and she is joining me tonight to talk about the world premiere of Stomp It Out, which will air next Wednesday, March the 8th at 9:30 on Eastlink Community TV as part of our International Women's Day lineup, and it documents Solitha's journey from growing up in the Caribbean, getting involved in the modeling agency, moving to Nova Scotia, opening up her own agency, and trying to break down some of the historic barriers that have existed in the fashion industry. Thanks for joining me, Solitha.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
It's a night of first for Solitha, her first ever hockey game and her first ever live interview as well. So I kind of gave the Coles Notes version of Stomp It Out. Tell our viewers a little bit more about what they're going to see Wednesday at 9:30.
Well, Stomp It Out is taking a look at how change can be done in the space that you occupy. So you don't have to wait for some particular measure of success to do the things that you want to see in the spaces that you are, whether it's business or your personal. Stomp It Out takes you on a journey where the things that we don't like in the fashion industry, the things that are causing divisions, are being dealt with right here in Nova Scotia, showing the rest of the industry that it is possible, and we're taking that first step to create that blueprint.
When you enter into a project like that, you always have an idea of what you hope it will be. How close is the finished product, the thing that folks will see Wednesday, to what you hoped it would be?
It blew my expectations. The team that was producing and editing and all of the elements that are going into it, they did a masterpiece. I wanted something great. I wanted something that the audience would relate to, and they give that. They give the authenticity of our stories, and the need for shift in our industry is beautifully captured through the lens.
And you also host a program on Eastlink TV called Fashion to Be Great. I've seen it. I invite everybody to watch it. It's very interesting. And so much of the global discussion we're having now in the last 2 or 3 years is about recognizing all the different voices. And then I was Googling you last night and talked about when you were 14 or 15 growing up in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a 14-year-old girl of color, and you saw Naomi Campbell on the world stage, arguably maybe the greatest model of all time. Giselle might argue, but anyways, as a 15-year-old teenager seeing Naomi Campbell, what did that mean to you at that point in time in your life?
It created a pause. It stopped me in my tracks because I hadn't seen someone like myself command such a presence on TV. I mean, I'm from the Caribbean, so it's predominantly people that look like me in positions of power. But when you look through the magazines and you look through or you're watching television, there wasn't any representation of myself that I wanted to associate with, because they were always portrayed in lights that were, less than favorable. So once I saw Naomi on that music video, and the way she moved, the way she walked, I was like just captivated, and I wanted to become that, but Solitha. And at that time it was Natasha. So if anybody watched Fashionably Great, they'd understand the shift in both names. But yeah, it was a shift for me, not knowing what I was gonna do with that shift, and here I am today in Nova Scotia living out that dream.
And they often say you have to be the change that you want to see in the world, and that's what you're doing. And your agency, looking at you, said, you're like, I don't want to exclude the blue-eyed blonde girl. I want her to come, but I want the girl to come who's maybe plus size. I want someone from the Asian community. I want to represent the entire diaspora of mankind. What are you most proud of what you've been able to accomplish with your agency?
I think when you look at my roster, it was built on talent. It was built not for just black models or for brown models or just for white models. It was built for talent. So when I scout, I look for that it factor that you bring to the table without creating labels to isolate you from the agency or from the industry. So that's I think my level of success is where that shift created a need in the market for other people to follow suit. So yeah, talent. Talent is the blueprint, and if we all follow that, I think there would be less sense of not feeling like you belong, and therefore creating that sense of insecurity in certain things. So I'm really proud of the fact that people are now seeing the talent before they judge you based on the physical.
Last question for people who watch Stomp It Out Thursday night at 9:30. Young boys, young girls, young people of any gender. What do you hope is the message they come away from it with?
Dream big. I hope that they take away from it that I am special just the way I am. And I don't need labels to validate my credibility in a space that I'm standing, and dream big. I'm an island girl who moved to Nova Scotia and have this amazing opportunity to live out my dream.
Solitha, really appreciate you taking some time to speak with us tonight.
Thank you, Matt. It was a pleasure.
And again, Stomp It Out premieres Wednesday, March 8th at 9:30 on Eastlink Community TV as part of our great lineup of programming for International Women's Day. Stay with us. You're watching a special Thursday night edition of Friday Night Hockey on Eastlink Community TV. When we come back, Logan the Mavs will have second period highlights.